Good evening, lords and ladies. Danny Stewart here for BassJapanDirect.com with a naked sound comparison between these two beautiful moon basses, the DJB5 over here in ash and the JJ5 Mitsuru Sutoh signature in alder. So these basses have a lot of similarities. Let's talk about those first. And I'll pick up the DJB5 first. And we'll just do some simple tests quickly on each of them. So similarities in spec, the scale length is 35 inches. The necks are maple with an ebony fretboard. They have 21 frets. They use the same hardware, Goto GB11 tuners and 404BO bridges. They have the XTCT preamp with cut, notch and boost on the bass and treble controls, and then individual volume controls. And then yeah, the tone woods are different, as I said before. The pickups are different. This has humbuckers, that has two jazz pickups, and it also has a tone switch there, which is essentially a mid switch. Anyway, so this is with everything dialed up. Woo! It's powerful. That's bass and treble boosted. Let's take the bass to notch. I think that sounds great for slap when you don't have too much bass in the equation. So when because these humbuckers are so powerful, when you take the bass down to notch, for me that's ideal. It sounds great. It's powerful, it's punchy, and it's big. Now let's listen to the Sutoh. Now Mitsuru Sutoh is famous for his work with T Square, a famous Japanese fusion band. Woo! Wow! Already this just sounds like a slap machine, right? So he's an exceptional player, world-class player, and he's been with Moon since the early 90s. And this is basically, I think it's a 30th anniversary reissue of his original signature. So it's older, and it's got the slanted JJ type pickups, but it's got his spec in terms of having this extra switch, extra special pickups, this little thumb rest here, half thumb rest in rosewood, which is really pretty and very comfortable, and just a great sound for slap. So this is with the mid switch up. Down. Very, very punchy, glassy. You can hear that when it's the mid switch is up, it gets a little bit growlier and throatier, and it's a little bit smoother when it's down. Yeah, so great slap tone on this. I think I prefer the sound of this for that style of playing than the DJB, but there you go. They're very different in terms of sound. So let's go on the rear pickup, treble down, bass boosted, and now let's introduce the mid switch in the up position. Oh my god, that is to die for. Yeah, got to practice that. It's been a long time, but Bloody hell, that's perfect. And then you've got more headroom to go if you need it. Personally, I like it just the way it was there with the treble cut. But if you put the treble all the way up, etc. Yeah. Oh man, what a rear pickup sound. So there you go. That's got a lot of scope on it, and I think it just sounds wonderful with the treble down. Let's try this out for this similar thing. Treble down, bass boosted. Okay, now let's try that with the treble at notch. Now that's really nice. Yeah, that's really nice. Beautiful. And then with the treble all the way. Yeah, very nice too. Although maybe a little bit too much treble, but it's there if you need it. So that's nice. Front pickup. Treble cut, bass up. So that was with the tone all the way, the treble all the way down, bass up. Style. So let's now give it treble all the way up, rock out. Yeah, so it's quite nice, throaty, big, meaty sound there on the front pickup. And the Sutoh on the front pickup, by contrast. Treble down. Love the mid switch in the down position. That's nice, fingerstyle. Put the tone switch on. Now that sounds more like a front pickup to me. Interesting, yeah. And even with the treble down, sounds pretty good for slap too. Balanced. You can hear clearly the difference there. But when the tone switch is in the down position, the difference is very subtle. So yeah, you get more of the front pickup character, I think, when it's in the up position. Um, that's interesting. And then if we have the treble all the way up. Huge B string sound, very, very tight, low B. Oh, the other difference I forgot to mention is that this has a brass nut and that has a bone nut. So, yeah, very different sounds, although they have the same preamp and the same fretboard and same hardware. But yeah, the tone woods make a difference. Of course, the pickups make a huge difference. I don't know which one I prefer. I would say it depends what I'm going to be playing. Sorry, this camera is not very good with the light adjustments. Anyway, yeah, my verdict. I mean, they both play beautifully. They're beautifully made, perfect fretwork. They're very high-end instruments, and yeah, price-wise, they're similar in a similar range. The Sutoh is just a tiny bit cheaper than the DJB, and I think that's because the DJB, the binding on this is a little bit more detail in the build. It's also got inked. It's very, very subtle, but it's got this dark charcoal, see-through charcoal finish with inked grain. So it's a little bit more of an involved finish on that, whereas this is just a transparent red. There's no inking on the grain, and because it's older, the grain is not like it's not very prominent. So yeah, but I think the rear pickup tone on the Sutoh is incredible when you engage that mid switch. Wow, just beautiful. And one thing about the Sutoh, which is a bit quirky, is the G string side tuner is upside down. Now you might be wondering why the hell they do that. That's because this is being faithful to the original signature, which was made in the very early 90s. And at that time, Goto was not really making this tuner or making many tuners at all for 5-string basses, because 5-string basses were still not that popular at that point in time. I think 5-string basses really started to explode further into the mainstream, probably from the later 90s than in the early 90s. Of course, they did exist, especially in the fusion arena, so to speak. But yeah, I mean, many mainstream pop bands and stuff, and even rock and metal bands were not really using 5-string basses, even at that point. So it's interesting. So what they did, because they didn't make 5-string sets, was they just simply turned a normal bass side tuner upside down. And you'll see that on a lot of the old Moon 5-strings, the ones from the late 80s, early 90s. I think before the late 80s, they didn't make 5-strings. So that shows you something, right? But yeah, those early JJs were the same, you know. So this is an exact replica of his original signature. Same materials, same everything. Everything is the same. And I think that's really nice that you've got that authenticity. That level of thinking has gone into it. They could have just as easily just put the same GB11W G side tuner that's on this, but in gold on here. But they decided to stick with the original. It's a little bit quirky. But yeah, a lot of the basses over here were like that. There was the ESP Horizon as well. That also had upside down G side Gotto tuner. Interesting stuff. Anyway, there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I'd like to know your thoughts about which you think is the best, and I apologize for being a bit cold today and unimaginative. Um, but hopefully that will give you a good idea of what these two basses are all about. Um, and I thank you again for watching yet another Naked Sound review. That seems to have dragged on longer than it probably should have done. All right, guys, see you again soon. Cheers.